Hey everyone, it's Denise Brown. Thanks so much for being here. This is a soul break, and today we're going to take a soul break from guessing, because I think throughout our day we are just plagued by guesses, and I thought it would be a nice break today to stop guessing. So I'd love for you to take a moment and think about who or what keeps you guessing. And I think during a caregiving experience, you can think about how long will this last? So that keeps you guessing. Whether or not someone will be late who is supposed to be helping, so that will keep you guessing. You might be guessing about how long you have to wait to receive test results, information, the next appointment. So our guessing can come from individuals. It could come from one of the systems that we interact with. And I also think it can come from ourselves. So we can also think about, what do we do? What do we think? What perspective do we hold on to that keeps us guessing? Okay. So what we're going to do is acknowledge that we have situations and individuals who keep us guessing, but now we're going to receive the fact that we have answers. So we're going to go through 3 questions that I'm going to ask you that will actually uncover the answers that you have. I love the idea of using questions to spark answers, because I think a well-asked question helps us really connect to what we already know. And I also like to use images that help calm us, so we can start to think more clearly. When we're too stressed out, we can't think clearly. Stress steals our thoughts. If we can take a few moments to feel calmer, then we can actually think more clearly. So here's my first question for you. What's the solution? So we got clear about who and what keeps you guessing. Hi, Marilyn. Thanks for being here. Hi, Ursula. Thanks for being here. So we got clear about who or what keeps you guessing, and the guessing keeps you in an uncertain space. We've moved into a knowing space. You know the answers. So I'd love for you to reflect on, what's the solution? And I love this image because it's all about just picking it. So it's right there, right in front of you. And all it's doing is asking you to pick it. So I'd love for you to write down, what's the solution? So you may have been guessing about how to resolve a situation, a worry, a doubt. And now you know what that resolution is. You know the solution. So write it down. Isn't that a beautiful image with such bright colors? And just a reminder that sometimes it's right there. All we have to do is pick it. So you've picked your solution. Okay, here's the next prompt to connect to an answer you already know. What's the decision? And I picked this image because it's sunlight from the morning. And I think oftentimes we feel our freshest in the morning. So think through your clear head from a refreshing morning, and then connect to the decision. that you might have been struggling with and guessing about? What's the decision? And I also love this image because there's an action we can take here too. And the action can be pouring. So, what decision will you pour? What's the decision that you know is right? Go ahead and pour it out. A decision could be something that is temporary for today. It could be a little more temporary for this week. It could feel a little more permanent for this month. What's the decision you know is right? It could be a decision to end, to start, to tweak, to adjust. With your right decision, you can free up energy, connect to resources, give yourself something that's easier. What's the decision you can pour out? And then here's my third prompt for you. What's your wisdom? What is your innate knowledge that can steer you in the next moment, the rest of today, through the night, into tomorrow? What's your wisdom about your situations, your experiences, your relationships, your to-do list, your worries? And I love this image because I think it reminds us that our wisdom is inside. It's there for us to use, and it just wants to pop out. So, what's your wisdom? I also love this image because of the reflection. So we see our wisdom standing straight up, but we also see it reflected in the bottom part of the image. So, how do we reflect our wisdom out? And the other piece of it is when we see wisdom outside of us, how do we reflect it into us? You might connect to wisdom outside of you through a conversation you have, a TV show you watch, a podcast you listen to, something you read. So we have internal wisdom, and we also have the opportunity to connect to wisdom outside of ourselves. So, what's your wisdom? The wisdom that you write out right now could just be a few words. It could be a sentence. It could be several sentences. You could start the draft of wisdom that you hear today and finish it up later. You could write out a couple words and you think, that's it. That's the wisdom I want to hold on to. And then something I like to move us into is this opportunity to create belief statements. In essence, it's creating sentences of facts around certain situations or circumstances. So the guessing keeps us swirling. Our belief statements become our anchors. So you could write out a belief statement about solutions that you use, about decisions that you make, about wisdom that becomes really helpful companions that you rely on. So, for instance, one of my beliefs is that every worry needs a plan. So I consider that to be the wisdom that helps me when I'm overcome by worries. I also believe sometimes what I need is to eat. So if I can't decide what to do, I think, well, when was the last time I had lunch? And then I might think, okay, have some lunch and then decide. So your belief statements can be about how you move through your day, how you move through the caregiving experience, how you actually move through life. And then we use our belief wheel to get a little more specific. So guessing keeps us spinning. And what we want to do is move into believing it's possible. I think the guessing is about, I don't think this is going to work. I'm not sure if this is going to work. I'm not sure others are going to be okay with this. And what we want to move into is believing it's possible. So you can pick a word on the wheel and create a belief statement. We're in the middle of November right now. You might create a belief statement about the holidays. So you might be guessing, what are the holidays going to be like? And you can instead create a belief statement about the holidays. I believe a comforting moment will arrive for me this holiday season. I believe we'll figure it out when challenges arise this holiday season. I believe I can pivot effectively when something goes wrong this holiday season. You could pick courage, for instance, and your belief statement could be, I believe I have the courage to connect to a solution. I believe I have the courage to make the right now decision. I believe I have the courage to change the decision when information and resources and circumstances change. I believe I have the courage to tap into and act on my internal wisdom. And for those of you who are joining live, if you'd like, you are welcome to share a belief statement in the chat room, if you are comfortable doing so. Okay, so here's our last image. And here's why I picked this. Guessing leads us to doubts. Guessing takes away our confidence. We can look to Mother Nature for inspiration to know that we can believe in ourselves. We can be confident in our abilities. Look at what Mother Nature does for us. So from a seed, we get a tree, which actually creates apples for us. That's amazing. You can plant your own seed and grow so that you receive from that seed. You have the ability to do that. think about the variety of what Mother Nature gives us. So, flowers and plants and fruits and vegetables. Sometimes during a caregiving experience, we can feel one dimensional, that life is just about caregiving. And again, we can be inspired by Mother Nature to know we can grow other relationships, other interests, other hobbies, other parts of our essence, even during caregiving. Just like Mother Nature, we can take a seed of an idea, a perspective, a thought, a gift, or a talent, and let it grow. And from that growth, we can receive. Okay, that's it for today. That was our soul break from guessing. So instead of guessing, you have the solution. Rather than doubting, you have the decision. Rather than vacillating back and forth, you have the wisdom. And you also have belief statements, facts about what you know to be true. Thanks, you guys, so much for joining me today. Happy Thanksgiving. Look forward to seeing you again. Bye-bye.